Assalamu alaikum. I am now sitting with former ANC Treasurer General Matthew Phosa. Mr. Phosa, good day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Hilaal TV.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Mr. Phosa, 2 weeks to go before the polls open. How's the campaigning been so far? Because you've been on the campaign trail for quite some time.
Well, I've joined. We need to join and ensure a proper victory for the ANC.
Obviously, the 30 years of democracy, and you were there from, from the start. I mean, how would you assess democracy and how it's gone?
Well, I was pulled from the bush to join the talks, and I'm one of the few who can say so. When we arrived here, our mission was to stop the hanging of people. We stopped it. I walked into the death row and said to the guys, "You will not die." Our mission was to remove the soldiers from the townships. We removed them. The other one was to ensure all political prisoners are released. All exiles come back home. We did all that. And then we started writing the Constitution. Today we've got a new Constitution. All of us could not vote. Now today we can vote. We can choose our own leaders, our own president, our own mayors. It's a big achievement. Obviously, we have to build houses. We have to build schools, hospitals, and roads. We're starting to do that. It's a big challenge. We're doing it. It's a journey to the future.
Some would say you've had 30 years to do it. Do you think the citizens would give you that same opportunity again as the ruling party?
No, 30 years in a nation's life is very short. It's extremely short. We need more, and we will not disappoint the nation.
Mr. Phosa, talk to us about the rise of the other parties. Of course, you've got the smaller parties that have come. It's the beauty of the democracy. How does the ANC fend off that challenge, or do they embrace it? And that is, of course, through coalition governments.
Well, we put in our constitution the principle of multi-party democracy. And in fact, when it was only us and National Party talking, we felt it's not correct. We invited the existing parties at the time, to the smallest, to CODESA, and said, let's all talk. Let's all listen to one another, even the smallest. Now, this mushrooming is welcome. Let people make their choices. The best party must win. And the issue of coalition only arises after the 29th.
Mr. Phosa, I mean, you were the Treasurer General of the ANC for 2 terms. Yeah, 5 years, yes. And of course, political party funding has been quite a contentious issue. Where do you stand on that? Does there need to be a disclosure with regards to that so that the voter knows who they're voting for, but also who they're voting for in terms of their backer?
Do you know I'm the one who initiated that debate?
Yes, no, I do remember, yes.
Yeah, I had workshops on it because I wanted to conscientize the nation that we don't go and have secret manipulators of parties and power. That therefore there should be a measure of disclosure. What is the ceiling you put? And we benchmarked through Ernst & Young the whole world systems of democracy. And we found some of the elements which we like in Germany, others in other jurisdictions, and we came with our own model. There has to be a cap, so there has to be disclosure, so we know who's ruling who, not money ruling us.
Your former President Jacob Zuma, of course, started the MK party. Any concerns with regards to that, or is it just a political party that's there and you as the ANC would deal with it, obviously through democracy and through the elections?
Well, it's regrettable, obviously, because this man was a president of the ANC for 2 terms. And he said things at the time that we must unite the party, we must unite the nation, we can't tolerate the deviant characters. He said all those things, but he's not leaving that legacy. He's living against that legacy. It's not a really good example of what he preached, you know. So good luck to him in the elections. Well, the ANC has decided that they were going to charge him after the elections. It's the ANC's prerogative to do so because he says he's a member of the ANC. And I think he'll come to the hearing.
Mr. Phosa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the interview. Okay.